Life's a gamble, I roll dice. Bet against me, I roll twice. I done beat the odds my whole life. I said I'm ready for
Talking
greatness.
shit, Dave.
Welcome back to another episode of the Autonomous Podcast. I am your host, Damian Jackson. Me and the AI. Let's get into it. And on today's episode, well, that's what we're talking about. AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of people are concerned about AI as far as taking over jobs, affecting the economy, things like that. Some people believe it's a demonic presence. I get that. Although people in DC already got that covered. But people also tend to be afraid when it's something new, right? The technology, but it comes down to change. And instead of embracing it, because you're not going to stop it, you're not going to stop it. People think they're going to stop this technology, but the technology already exists. It's already out there. And the people that have the money and the resources to expand upon the technology, well, they got the influence. When it comes down to it, all you can do is go with it, resist it, or go live somewhere else, just ignore it altogether. So I guess you have your options. But if you're going to continue to live in this modern world, you're going to have to figure out how to coexist with this and whatever AI is, because we can talk about from a spiritual perspective in the sense that AI in itself is consciousness, right? Everything around you is consciousness, right? The one source being creating the reality in which we perceive amongst the infinite amount of frequencies and all that other shit, right? So when you have AI, some may say it's coming in from another dimension, another form of reality, another existence, playing with things that you don't know about, right? In a sense, is it created? Is it really discovered? Is it made anew? Are we remembering it? Has it actually been around? We just didn't realize it's been around? Yeah, there's a lot, we might say that for another episode. But let's focus on AI in the sense of what most people know in today's practical terms. So with AI advancing, and not just far as computer-generated images, videos, stuff, or we using ChatGPT, stuff like that, people have to realize that it is a tool and a resource to be used at your discretion. But if you don't know how to use it, you will just use it for whatever little thing that you can think of, as opposed to maximizing its capabilities. We all use ChatGPT to some degree. And for most people, ChatGPT is just, hey, let them ask a question real quick because you don't want to search up the internet, something, a recipe, or hey, how do I do this thing? Or maybe I'm trying to work on my car and I need to figure this out and I don't want to watch a YouTube video or something like that. Just ask ChatGPT real quick, or Google Gemini, or wherever AI chat or AI software agent that you're using. But think of it this way. If you're going to use ChatGPT, you're going to use an AI software program to help you with a business startup, taxes to some degree. Maybe you have certain ideas for a new app and you need help coding. You can use it that way too. So at the end of the day, it becomes on you, the user, the conscious observer. Because the consciousness of AI, at least for right now, is still vibrating at a, lower frequency. Now, when we worry about a singularity or it becoming conscious itself, that's a whole nother thing, right? Because it's artificial intelligence, but what the fuck is intelligence and what's really artificial? So with people being concerned about it, they're concerned about the environment as far as AI data centers being put up and stuff like that, which makes sense. But then you can also use AI to clean up the water, right? So the technology in itself is not bad or good. It's just there. The conscious observer has to figure out what to do with it after that. us humans or whatever will have to figure out exactly how we're going to utilize all this. For some people, they don't know exactly what that means. They don't know whether or not they're going to utilize AI or they're just going to continue to ignore it. But, oh, I'm not dealing with that. The AI is going to take jobs. Well, white collar jobs, right? Not necessarily blue collar jobs, hands-on things, at least not for right now until they bring robotics in and certain things. And for the most part, you're still always going to have some type of human presence because, well, we're human and we like seeing other fucking humans around us as we work on certain things. Now, when it comes to changing my cell phone plan and stuff like that and little technical things like that, I don't need a human, right? When it comes to nursing, medical, therapy, you don't necessarily want an AI person there, but it's also to your discretion because if you just have certain questions that you want done, maybe certain scans, right, that you want done, maybe you just need a diagnosis, maybe you look at your medical issue from a problematic sense or a mathematical equation, then you don't necessarily need that human connection. But that's not for everybody. So how AI will place itself within everyone's lives will always come down to the individual, but people are focused on the systems that will be created or the systems that will be infiltrated using AI. Are we going to have AI in our monetary system? Makes the most sense. Why not, right? Why are we doing taxes when all you should do is just claim what you have and stuff and then let the shit do the rest? Why you got to sit there and try to figure out the loopholes or figure out, what's a good tax reduction for you when you have an AI agent do the best it should or the best it can or whatever to make sure it gives you the most tax reductions available, right? But then people are concerned about AI in the sense of in the classroom. So the fears that people have of AI really comes about change. It's always about change. And humanity as a collective is slow to change. We resist change. And change sometimes takes a couple generations, right? When the older ones die off, bam, now the new ones who have adopted this personality or adopted these identities or these philosophies, these ideologies, they can implement it in and then pass it on to the generation underneath them as we proceed time in that linear sense. Makes sense, right? But really, if we want to change, we can just change. We don't have to wait for a certain time period. We don't have to wait for a certain generation to get old and die off. That's pointless. So when it comes to AI, it's really about us individually, right? More importantly, us as a collective. Are we going to resist this change? Or are we going to accept that change is inevitable? You might call it evolution, same difference. This is inevitable. This technology there is not going nowhere. Whether people want to stop it or not, it's not going to go anywhere. So now you have to figure out, okay, what do I want to do with this? Be a part of this modern society? Live off in the woods somewhere? Fine. Yeah, go ahead and do that shit. You can always try to fight it. I say not to, but you can try to fight it. You'll lose. You'll lose. If you try to fight it, you'll lose because you can't fight it in the physical sense. You can't fight it trying to stop computer systems, information systems, technological systems, things like that. You can't fight that and stuff. You can try, but you more likely won't get nowhere because the whole infrastructure is already built decades in advance around that. So what can you do? Well, you can try to persuade the minds of people around you. But what generation are you going to work with? Not Gen Z, not Gen Alpha. Because they grew up with technology, right? They grew up with the iPads. They grew up with the tablets, stuff, Xbox, PlayStation, right? Whether they all got laptops and computers or iPad and stuff in school, right? To their own. They're doing ChatGPT for their fucking schoolwork. And some teachers will go against that. To circle back to the education, some are against that. But as they go off into the real world, Is it practical? Because when they are a business executive, they are whatever position that they're in, and they're answering emails, do they want to sit there and reply to an email, taking 5 to 10 minutes, or already have the AI agent automatically reply to email in a second, and that frees up more time in their day? It's these things you got to think about. Because the world that we're moving into that's already here, at the end of the day, it's about survivability, first and foremost, and then how can you prosper? Now, I'm biased because I like technology. I think some technology is redundant and beyond fucking stupid, but I do like technology. But as far as I have seen over my lifetime, when it comes to technology, it's always about the operator, the user of the technology. Plain and simple. And most people don't really use technology to its full benefit. They use it for manners in which can make their lives more simple, which I think almost is a definition of technology. But a lot of people use technology really just because it makes their life easier, right? They want something simple, want something done. They don't want to make things more complicated than it needs to be. But when it comes to, let's say, creating, I use technology when I create music. I use the AI for mastering in Logic Pro. I don't know how to master. Now, can I learn it? Yes, I can. Do I want to sit and figure out how to learn it? No. What the fuck? No. Why? I just want my audio to sound good in all different forms of speakers. That's it. There's a basic threshold, a basic standard in which you have to meet anyway, as far as technical requirements when you release music to be put out in an Apple Music store or Spotify and all the Amazon and all the other fucking music stores out there. So once you reach that standard, which is high quality anyways, you're good, right? So I use AI when I make my song cover art because it saves me money. And if I'm releasing a song once a week, 4 times a month, something like that, I'm not about to sit here and try to figure out a different cover art image and constantly, nah. I want something out there that's creative, that's unique to me and my song, but also something that I can just, bam, do real quick and then go on because I'm creating something else. So as we move into a creator economy, right? Because everybody wants a job. Most people want a job to stay busy because they don't know what to do with their fucking lives. But for those that are innovators, creators that are thinking of things in which they want to do and feeling their creative energy, well, for them, the reality is they will benefit from AI the most. Because now they're able to do things that they weren't able to do before, saving time, more importantly, saving money. And that's what it comes down to. Utilizing it to your advantage. Because if you can't stop these things, what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. This is not even a fight that you need to even have. Take AI for what it is and utilize it. And mind you, as we say AI, this is still not AI. This shit is just mimicking human behavior through algorithms, right? A bunch of mathematical equation stuff. That's all it's doing right now. And when you use ChatGPT, it's just searching the internet for you, right? It's taking research documents from government websites or whatever that's been, confirmed and fact-checked website information like that. Things. So it's nothing even remotely close. I don't want to say remotely, but it's not close to what we are actually really concerned about, which might happen in my lifetime at the pace that it's going. Now, I can say we can cross that bridge when it happens, but I'm already prepared for it. You should be too. Because if at that point, when AI becomes true sense of intelligence, when it truly becomes conscious, I'll just treat it like any other conscious being. Find some harmonious balance to coexist and go on about my day so I can do the things I want to do. That's what it comes down to. Find a way to live in balance do the things you want to do, live the life you want to live. Whether it's AI or some other fucking technology that we don't know about yet that's locked up in some in the Information Secrecy Act somewhere in the vault in some place, whatever, one of those patents. But until then, find a way to live the life that you want to live and go on about your day. Until next time.
Life's a gamble, I roll dice. Bet against me, I roll twice. I done beat the odds my whole life. I said I'm ready for
Talking
greatness.
shit, Dame.